have a new camera. It's a Father's Day present. I'm going to try it out. We're also going to be messing with the hood scoop on the old fiberglass hood that I originally put on Bertha many moons ago. As you can tell, it's not a really super nice fit, but it will be. The problem I was having with this hood scoop was when I had the air cleaner on, it would hit because it's such a low scoop. And this, see how this extends way far back from where it should be? My windshield wipers were hitting this. So the newer hood scoops, this one could be pulled back a little bit, per se. Not that far, like that. Actually, this way more. Let me get it to sit down more. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some measures, keep measuring, and then we're going to take some screws and we're going to screw it down, scribe it where it's got to be, pull it off, and then cut the other 2-inch or 1.5 inches, whatever it was. I don't even think it's 2, off, and we're going to try to graft this on with some panel bonding adhesive that I got, 2 epoxy that goes to a double barrel caulking gun. Alright, so I'll bring you back when I have more to show. See ya. Alright guys, I got the hood placed. I went back in the garage and measured off the other cars, and that's where that hood scoop's got to fit. The edge of the hood scoop goes to the edge of the hood. I had pulled it forward on my last little video. This is the old camera. I could not get the new camera to fit the old stand, so I'm just using the old camera. What I'm going to do is I measured it from outside edges to the wall of the cowl, and it's like approximately 16.5 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some screws and I'm going to screw it down. That will be like my my little pilot screws there, my little pilot holes. That'll tell me where, once I take this off, that's where that hood scoop's going to go back on. Then we're going to scuff all the black paint off, and we're going to cut the old cowl off. So right now it's placed, it's scented, it looks really good. I'm looking down the hood. It's not like twisted one way or another like a box's broken nose. So we're going to call that, and I'm going to pin it down now with these screws. Small garage, small yard, small everything. You guys probably got none of that because of the door. Bugger. Alright. We'll check the video. If not, I'll have to edit it. Alright, I got the hood scoop pinned down. I did a video. I don't know if the door swung on me on the shed, and I don't think we got that shot. But anyways, here they are. They're all pinned. So those are my alignment holes. I'm going to let this thing set in the sun, warm up a little bit. because it's winging up. I know this some work is necessary on these. There always work necessary on this. I'm going to take a scratch awl now and scribe the edge of the hood. We're going to pull the scoop off. This is later on down the road. We're just going to let this set like this. I'm going to throw a few more screws in here to get this hood scoop to kind of settle down. The guy made it for me, and I left it in the shed for a little bit, and I didn't like do what I'm doing now. So hopefully it'll soften up and adhere to what it's got to be. Alright, so I'll bring you back when I have more to show. Alright, the old cowl, the hood, is actually getting in the way of the new one, right at the bottom edge closest to where the nose of the car is. So what I gotta do is I'm gonna cut that off. I'm gonna just use a regular little sawzall. We're gonna get most of it all, and then we're gonna grind it with a flat disc, and we're gonna try to flatten it out. And then I'm gonna repin the big cowl onto it, and hopefully it'll allow it to sit down a little flatter. And then we're just gonna pin it down and leave it in the sun, and hopefully all that sun and heat will allow it to also sit down a little flatter. Then I'll come back, I'll grind all the paint off and get it down to the bare fiberglass, and we're gonna use some of that SEM panel bonding adhesive. So right now we're gonna just cut this up and then see how it goes. I'm gonna get a grinder with a zip wheel. It's gonna go much faster. A lot more dust, but much faster. Back in a bit.
Alright, we're gonna grind it off. I got a respirator on, cutting fiberglass. When I was a young warthog, I didn't care. Yeah, I just cut it. Now I'm older. You know, sins of the past start showing up. So I'm trying to preserve my lungs as best as I can. Being in the construction trades with a lot of silica dust and concrete dust, which is silica dust. And years of cutting transite pipe and stuff, trying to preserve myself. So wear a respirator, wear a dust mask, wear some sort of form of PPE when you're grinding, cutting, because in the long run it's going to benefit you and essentially save your life. So, you know, put away the macho male bullshit of, you know, I don't need that, I don't need this, I don't need gloves, I don't need respirators. Put on your PPE. You know, longevity is what we want. So I'm gonna start grinding this thing now. I should be wearing gloves too, but I don't have any. Alright, put a flat disc on. We're going to flatten down that edge, and we're going to take the paint off. It's going to be a little trickier than I thought it would be, just the way that the profile of the old hood is. But we'll get it. So now I'm just going to flatten down. It's a little raised edge because I couldn't get the grinder in tight enough. And I was leery of cutting into the bracing at the front. I didn't want to take all that support away, so I'll just come back now with a grinder and clean that up. Your new battery. I'm looking at the hours of black sand that I took to get this hood painted, and I'm taking it down in seconds. Unbelievable. Alright, let's switch the battery in the grind. I'll be back.
Alright, we got the panel settled in. I sanded the backside of the new cowl. There was some bumps, probably from the casting. So we got it all screwed down. It's not glued, it's just screwed down. It's what I wanted to do is actually in the sun, hopefully it'll sort of conform and rest where it's got to be. You know what I mean? It's going to kind of conform to the hood. So we got that, and we're just going to hold on and maybe a couple of hours of this, and then we'll unbolt it, unscrew it, put the panel bonding stuff on it. I'll wipe it down with lacquer thinner, put the panel bond on it, re-screw it, and then we'll call it a day, and then let it set overnight. Looking thunderstorms this afternoon, so I mean it's fiberglass, ain't gonna hurt it. But where's yeah, why are you splashing me, lass? Oh, that was cold. Fish girl. Fish girl. Alright, so we'll be back later on when I'm starting to glue the panel in. So it's gonna be a couple of hours. I gotta let this set in the sun. I really want this fiberglass to kind of take shape of the hood, so it's less filling for me and less raised edges. Alright, so see you guys a couple hours, I guess. Peace. Alright, it's been on here for a couple hours. It is as hot as Satan's armpit right now. Holy crap. So I took a Sharpie and I made a witness mark all the way around the perimeter of the scoop. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to unscrew all these screws, and we're going to mix up the SEM multi-purpose panel adhesive. It works on fiberglass, steel. It's like almost like a universal bonding mix. So we're gonna use that. You're gonna need a special gun because it's a two-barrel, two-part epoxy style. So I bought this gun a while back. That's the product number if anybody's interested in getting it. And they give you the mixing tips. So when you start bringing the epoxy, by the time it gets to the end here, it's all mixed up consistently. So we're gonna unscrew this panel now. You can clearly see that it flattened down, but my only concern is if I'm going to do this in the heat, in the sun, everything's going to be expanded, and then when I glue it down, it's going to contract and crack, but we're going to see. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know if they haven't read the directions yet, because directions are for the week. But we're just going to go for it, see what the hell happens. It's the worst that can happen. You can just redo it again. I'm used to that. Alright guys, I'll be back in a little bit. Alright, I got the panel wiped down with lacquer thinner. I'm going to put a nice even bead on the scoop and on the hood. And I might even spread it with a popsicle stick to get an even distribution. So this stuff is exactly as advertised. You can see it mixing up. So I'm just going to start lacing it in. By the time it gets to the end, it should be thoroughly mixed with itself. Alright guys, here we go. Alright, so that's step 3. So we're just gonna let this set now. 24 hours, I'm not gonna mess with it. So that's gonna be it for this video. So we're bonded. We got it nice and flat. I had plenty of epoxy squeezing out. Like I say, I'm gonna go over it once more to see if it needs a screw here or there, but it looks like it's laying pretty flat on the hood. And it actually brought this fiberglass up to it, so it actually stiffened the whole top of the hood. So I think we're good here. So we're just gonna let it do what it's supposed to do. Like I say, it's a 90-minute work time. I think 3 hours it's cured, but I'm just gonna leave it overnight. And we'll let it cool down and heat up, because right now it's really hot. I got the sun on it, so it's all expanded, so it's all going to contract together at the same time when it cools down. And that's it. So we got our 4-inch cowl hood, fiberglass hood, grafted onto a fiberglass old harwood hood. So once I get this done, I'll pop these screws out. We'll get some Duraglass, and we'll fill in the holes, Duraglass, all the chips and all the stuff that needs attention here. And hopefully soon we'll be in paint and on Bubba. No, Bertha, not Bubba. Bubba's fine. Right, so this is Mark from the second gen. If you guys are in this hot climate, be well, be safe, stay cool. And thanks for watching, and we will see you guys all on the next one. Peace. Time to jumping in. Oh yeah, jumping in.